have in a, let's say you're looking to go for USA, for example, and then you're looking to find out, or maybe I'll show you this. Let's say you are a student who wants to go to USA, wants to pursue their master's in computer science, but you're not sure what universities accept Duolingo, right? So you can come here, select the Duolingo accepted programs. So you will come across universities and their programs with the rankings and fees and all of that information, which are explicitly accepting Duolingo. Yes, you would come with a limited set of universities that are accepting it. I'm not denying it, but fairly that's a well spread list of universities that you can look for USA. Similarly, you can go for the other countries also and see how exactly is the Duolingo accepted for that particular countries and college. Sorry, the universities and the college in that country. The other option, you can also come to the Duolingo website, go to the universities section. You can see a big list. They are talking about 4,600 universities / colleges. So let's say if I am planning to go for my graduate programs, right, postgraduate or graduate program, that is for masters. So I can search for it, and then you will see based on the location, sort by the location. Maybe I can even say United States, for example. Maybe that's not the right way. You can even do better is to sort by location. So you'll come across the Australia. These are the universities that you have which are accepting. Similarly, you can go all the way to the end and then look for the United Kingdom, USA, right, which all universities are accepting it. So ideally, my suggestion is that before you decide if you are yet to take an exam in terms of English language, Duolingo is very well accepted in USA. Maybe 30–40% of universities are accepting, I would say. And then it's like 20–25% in Canada, for example. So it's better that you actually look at the kind of universities that fit your profile and then take a call whether it makes sense for you to take Duolingo. Yes, Duolingo is cheaper, Duolingo is shorter, Duolingo is easier compared to TOEFL or IELTS, no doubt about that. So, but then the question that you should definitely ask is it what I'm happy with attempting and then applying to a set of universities that are being available and I can get into a good university as per my profile? Then that's a good option you can take. If not, obvious choice is to now go for IELTS, which is the most widely accepted, and then go ahead and start preparing for it and take the test accordingly. So one more session I also give, you can also book a profile evaluation call so that you can talk to our experts and they'll help you in terms of understanding your profile and giving you a list of universities that accept Duolingo, and maybe then you can take a call with respect to whether Duolingo is a good option for you. If yes, then you can comfortably take the class over here and do well in your exam. So now let's get back to the PPT. Just wrap it. Great. So as I said, the Duolingo is a convenient test because you can take from your home. It's very fast because it's less than an hour, and it's affordable because it costs you close to 5,000 rupees, whereas all other exams cost you close to 15,000. That's slightly more than that. It's almost 3x cost. Right? And Duolingo is also, as I said, widely accepted. You just have to check if that's good enough for you or not, and accordingly take a call on that. But if you're convinced with the number of universities that are accepting Duolingo, then this has its own advantages. So as I said, convenient, fast, affordable, and also trusted by a lot of universities. So what is the length of the test? It's typically a 1 hour test where you will spend 5 minutes of your time to just sort yourself, set your camera, show the ID proof to the proctor and all of that. But then you have 45 minutes to attempt a set of questions and then another 10 minutes to do a writing sample and speaking sample at the end. So 55 minutes out of your 1 hour is going to be scored in the range of 0 to 160, which is going to be a Duolingo score. Maybe if you would have heard 110, 105, 125, 130. So typically 120 and above should put you in a good place with respect to, kind of universities people would generally look at. 105, 110, some universities also accept that score. Anything below 100, I would generally say that's not a good score to look at. So ideally you should try to improve your score and go for a better score so that you clear the cutoffs for a lot of universities that they're talking about. It's an adaptive test. Basically, that means the difficulty of the questions you get keeps changing based on how good you're answering the questions. So that's a good experience because if you're doing good, you'll get harder questions, which means you'll also get a bonus score if you do well. And there's only one section. What I mean by that is the 45 minutes. It's not like IELTS or TOEFL, a 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour exam where you have listening separately, reading separately, writing and speaking. It's basically integrated exam where you have all the questions mixed and matched. So it's basically just one section that you get. The difficulty keeps changing based on how well you're answering the questions in the exam. And there's no fixed set of the questions, but more or less I'll show you a table which will give you a sense of the approximate, number of questions that you're going to get in the entire exam. And obviously it's a $49 test and you can take twice in a month and there's no attempt limit. So basically it can be taken from home and you get result in 2 to 3 days. If you have to send your score immediately, you can just do it and you don't have to pay anything more for reporting your scores. You can just do it. So it's lot more convenient, lot more affordable, and lot more easy for you to reattempt if you don't get the desired score. But obviously, as I said, the major limitation of Duolingo is that you have to find the universities that you fit for and then see if they're accepting and what's the required score. So as I said, these are the 3 sections: introduction, onboarding for 5 minutes, then take a 45-minute section, a series of questions on your communication skills. The last 10 minutes would be your writing and speaking sample, where you have to write an essay for 5 minutes, a 50-word essay, and you have to speak for 3 minutes. It's going to be on a topic that they give you. So it's recorded. It is also shared with the universities when you're submitting your score. So that's also an important element that is being seen by some universities. So it's better that you perform well in that section. So they do give you score in slightly different style, the subsections, unlike IELTS or TOEFL, which is talking, listening, reading, writing, speaking. They just have a slightly different names, but more or less the same story. Like literacy is the ability to read and write. So they're talking about both reading and writing. Production is the ability to write and speak. Comprehension is the ability to listen and understand, or read and understand. Conversation is the ability to talk to someone, right? What they're talking, so respond to them. So as I said, it's in the range of 10 to 160. What I would say, if you look at this comparison between Duolingo, TOEFL, and IELTS, my suggestion would be that you should look at getting a 120 plus in Duolingo, which is close to 90 and above in TOEFL, or 6.5 and above in IELTS, right? So most of the universities would be comfortable if you get a 120 and above, but if you can get 130, 135, that's like great. You'll not miss out on any university with respect to their cutoff. So what are the key tips with respect to Duolingo part? So actually, in terms of taking the exam, I think I'll not go in depth with that. What I would suggest is we'll come back to this later once when you start actually attending some questions and understand it. It's just that do not leave any question. Try to use the entire time that's being given for each question, because each question would have a dedicated time that they would have given, 30 seconds, 60 seconds. Don't try to quickly finish it, because you don't get any bonus points for quickly finishing it, right? So better that you take the given time and do the best with that. And you will not be penalized for your mistakes. So no point in just moving ahead without attempting it. Even if you don't know the answer, mark something, right? Maybe it might work out, or maybe at least try your shot. And then you can't go back once you go to next. So which basically means that make sure that you attempt in the given time. Since even if you do a question which is dedicated for 1 minute and 30 seconds, you are not going to save the time for any future use. So ideally make the entire time use, and once you move ahead from a particular question, like question 1 to 2, you can't go back. So make sure that you dedicate the given time for each question. Try your best. Don't leave it empty. Attempt all the questions as much as possible so that you can actually maximize your score. So typically the Duolingo has question sites. There are almost like 12, 13 question types. You can see this table. I'm not going to go too deep into this. The trainer, Mrs. Isha, is going to talk about each one of this on a daily basis and going to give you a lot of practice so that you can excel in these questions. But typically, if you look at the first 2, read and complete, read and select, is what we're going to do today. That's going to be about your vocabulary and partially your reading ability. Then there are few listening questions like listen and type, listen and respond. Then there are the writing questions that you have, like read, then write, write about the photo and writing sample, which is what we're going to do this week. So we are going to do a little bit of vocabulary, listening, and then writing in this entire week from today till your Friday. Then the next week, we're going to do the reading section, which is the last part. You have the complete the passage, complete the sentences, highlight the answer, identify the idea, title of the passage. These are all typically a small passage that you get to read and then do questions for that. Then you also have speaking, like speak about the photo, listen, then speak, read, then speak, and speaking sample. So we are also going to do reading and speaking the next week with all the tips and the question types, and give you some nice vocabulary to improve your lexical ability, and also some grammar tips so that you can actually do better in terms of constructing a complex compound sentences, etc., to score better in your the individual sections. Before we start, which is what Mr. Sisha will do, I'll just take 1 more minute before we wrap up. What is the best way to practice, right? Obviously, you're going to get our handouts, like what Shloka showed right at the beginning. Go to your My Test Prep and then you find your English course. You will find the handouts for each class, which would have a lot of questions that you can practice. You can download them, maybe you can take a printout if you need. You will see a lot of questions for you to practice after the class and within the class also. But on top of it, we'll also add more material as we go forward. The best source, other source that you can practice is go to the Duolingo website, the official site. You have this practice test option. You can always take a 30-minute practice. It's like infinite times you can attempt it. It's going to give you a good feel of the type of questions that you're going to get, and get yourself prepared for all the types of questions. It's just that you don't get a very exhaustive feedback. Rather, they'll give you a broad range of your score. They would say you will score from 105 to 145. And it's a very big range that they're talking about in terms of your Duolingo score. But at least I would say that if the range says 105 to 145, you're fairly good to score around 120, 125 from what I've seen from multiple students. So try to, get your range more than the minimum band to at least 100, 110. And I think fairly you should be, in a good shape to actually take the actual Duolingo and score 120 and above with that. But as I said, this is a good source for you to keep practicing a lot more questions. The only problem with this is that it will be mixed with all the type of questions in 30 minutes. So what we suggest is take our handouts that we give on a daily basis, practice the questions from each question type perspective. Once you're good with all this content, you've learned the tips from the trainer that is teaching, then go ahead and start taking a lot of free practice tests in the Duolingo site and see what's your band, the range that you're getting. Once you are at a good range, so that you're confident that you can book the slot and take the exam and score 120 plus, that you're in a good shape to actually take the test and do it. Right. So that's what I wanted to say. Now I will hand it over to Mrs. Isha. Ms. Isha, please take it over from me, and then help our students with cracking the Duolingo exam.
Thank you, Mr. Jaideep, for sharing Duolingo course in detail. Okay, and I welcome all of you, and I hope you are very much clear about the course pattern and how it works and all. And today we are going to talk about the test pattern, and we are actually going to do the practice here. As Mr. Jaideep said very clearly, whichever the practice you have, you will find it in your handouts. Okay. Yes, before that, I just want to set some ground rules because I'm getting few of the messages in the chat box. So instead of answering those questions during the session, I request, or maybe I'm packing these questions so that we can take it at the end of the session. Okay, so this will help us, or probably that will not distract us also. Okay, so let's begin with the session here first, and I'm going to share my screen here, and we are going to talk about the question types here. What are the different questions we do get and how to answer them, how to solve them. So I believe my screen is visible to all of you. Is it clear? I hope my screen is clear to you. Okay. Now let's begin with the Duolingo preparation, which is made easy. So type and read complete questions. Now what this kind of questions are. So let's begin with the first type. Now how it looks. So here we are going to talk in detail what it looks like. Okay. So when we say read and type questions. So you have 3 minutes to answer this question. So duration is 3 minutes, where you have to write the letters or the missing letters here. Okay. Now this passage could be, or this paragraph or information could be on any topic. Okay. Now what you need to do here, you have to here you should have a good control on your vocabulary. So as Mr. Jaideep said very clearly, you will be provided lots of list of vocabularies. You can do practice and all. So you have to be very alert when you're writing any kind of letters here. Okay. Now, what are the tips you have to remember here before you go ahead and solve these questions? So read the information very clearly and focus which blanks, or focus on the blanks where you need to write the correct answer. Now, this passage usually has maximum 100 words, and you need to complete it. There are 8 to 10 words which you have to complete. Now, this type of question appears 3 to 7 times, and the time is allotted 3 minutes for each question. I hope these instructions are very easy to understand also and follow also. The important thing is that you should have good control on your vocabulary. Now, again, there are few tips which I have mentioned very here. So read the title, read the first and last sentence of the paragraph, which will give you the information what passage is about. Okay, so you can guess your word. Maybe, as Mr. Jaideep said very clearly, there is no negative marking, so you can attempt for that word. Okay, so even if by chance if you get any wrong answer, you are not losing on anything. Yeah, be confident while writing your words. write correct spelling, read the passage, and try to fill each blank. Pay attention, topic information, and most important thing is that your grammatical knowledge. Now, there are certain key points or maybe where you can rule out your answers. So try to look for WH questions. So who, why, which, etc. Or maybe some connecting words which will give you or help you to find out the right answers. So I hope we are clear on this. Please do mention if you have any questions. As I said, we will take it later. Now let's do one exercise. All are excited? I hope you all are all excited to do this exercise. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. You're audible.
Okay, fine, fine. Okay. So, yeah. So let's do one exercise here. Okay. Now let's follow the tips also. So I'm giving you 1 minute. Let me explain first, then we'll start this activity. So as I said, follow the tips, read the title, check the what is the first sentence and last sentence about the passage, and let's do that. Okay, so your time starts now. So since we do not have poll here, I request all the students to write their answers and then we'll check it out. So your time starts now. Please write it down in your notepad or you can mention it in your mention it in chat box also. So these are the words you have to find out where it is given. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Very good, Harshit. You got 3 right. Okay. Yes. Really correct. Go for it. Oh, well done, Harshit. Oh, all intelligent students, huh? That's great. Okay. Yes, Vinay, you got 2 so far. Try for more. Very good. Vinay, you got 1 more. Okay. Okay. So, done? Well try, guys. Well done. Okay, let's check out the answers now. Okay. Now let's understand the passage. Now here you don't have to analyze what is this about, okay? Why the writer has mentioned this thing and all, what is wrong and right, okay? You just have to focus on your right answers. Now humpback whales can live up to 45 years. So this is the lifespan of the whales, okay? Now when it comes to whales, what what you will understand, okay, these are talking about the sea animals or sea creatures, okay? Now what do? So many animals, not only sea animals, but there are certain birds, certain animals, they move from one area to another area. They move from one country to another country. So here the right answer is migrate. So those who written migrate, yes, 1 point, 1 score. Now, where do they migrate? Okay, between the places. So the places, so they are particularly moving from one place to another place. Okay, so the places. Why do they migrate? That feed in the winter. Okay, so in particular season. So depending on a climatic condition, these animals migrate to different places. Now they are migrating in winter. For what purpose we are migrating to the different places again? To give birth. Okay, to give birth. So this is again the right answer is birth here. In which season they are migrating to in the summer, and they usually live alone. So here the correct answers are migrate, the, that, in, winter, and the places that give birth in the summer, they usually live alone. Okay. So I hope you are clear about it. Yes. Please put it in chat if you are clear. Thank you, Shruti. Okay. Now, similar to this, as we discussed earlier, yeah, you get this kind of questions multiple times, 3 to 6 times. Now, this is the session where we are doing or giving the gist of how the questions happens. So yes, so there is another set of questions here. So, but we are not going to uh, do it here. You will get it in your handout. So like that, you will get it multiple exercises in your handout. Okay. So this is the sample question 2, the similar one. Uh, Fine. So I hope you're clear on the first type of question, all of you. Great. Great. So yes, I do know this is the idea to make you understand about the types of questions. But since, as Mr. Jaideep has mentioned you very clearly, you will get lot of stuff in your practice part. Okay, so you can go through your Duolingo site, log into your account, and you will get lots of handouts also for the practice part. Okay, thank you, Yogeshwar. Thanks for your kind impact reply. Okay, so now we are moving on to the next type of question, that is read and select. Okay. Now, what is this type of question? How does it look? Okay. Now here, this the question types looks like the read and select. So here you have to find out real English word. Okay. Now, being as an Indian, so we are not following one kind of language. Like we are not following only American English, but our 80% we follow British English. But yes, in some places as we are comfortable. Okay, so we use American English also and British English also. Now here most uh yes, Mr. Jagan, yeah, I will answer your questions as I said. Okay, so you need to understand which is the British word and American word. Okay, so probably you will get the vocabulary list where you will find out which is British word and English word. Okay, now what you have to do here? So you have to find your right English words. Okay, now there will be approximately 15 to 20 words will be given in each box, and the time duration for this particular test is 1 minute. Okay. Now what you have to do is you have to check the right word. Yeah. So you have to click which is the word. For example, regret. Now this is the word. If you click and the word is correct, it will highlight, that box will highlight. Okay. Now here again it is to check your vocabulary. Okay, and the grammatical spellings and everything. Okay. Now second, if you see, this is not a right word. Okay. Now as soon as you click on the right word, it will blink. Okay. Once you are done with this, you have to hit the next button. Once you hit the next button, your score or your answer will be submitted. Okay, then you will not get opportunity to correct your answers. Okay, so this is the rule which you have to follow. Okay, so all set for, okay, let's talk about the tips part now or the key points. Now, these are the real English words from the list. So you need a good control over on vocabulary, or you should have a good word bank with you. Okay. Now these words contain both real and unreal words. Okay. So there you may find this word is not at all exist, or probably the spelling could be wrong, etc. Now here you need to do read the word again and again if you find it, and decide whether it is really an actual word or not. Once you are confident, then click on the select button. Okay. Don't guess anything right now. Okay. And if you click the word again to deselect, like if you are confused, if you think, no, this is not a right word, so you can just click that word again and deselect it. Okay. But before hitting the next button, you be sure about the words that you have written. So as I said, the duration for this type of question is 60 seconds, that is 1 minute. And this appears 3 to 7 questions in the test. So I hope you are clear on the second type of question, that is read and select. Yes? So all excited to do the activity? Fine. Oh, sorry. So here are the tips you have to follow. Okay, so read the word again multiple times. Check out your spellings. Okay, check out your forms also, whether it is a correct form of verb, word, or whether it is a gerund or something. Don't guess. Yeah, select only those words which are real. Okay, don't worry about the questions which may appear more than once. So read carefully. Only thing is that you should have good control on your vocabulary and the spelling practice. Okay, the grammar part, which is the important thing. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so there are, yeah, 18 words are here. Okay, so what you need to do is you have to find out the real English word here. So go for it. Okay, so your time starts now. It is 7:04 or 7:05 it is. Okay, so please mention in chat box. I would also appreciate if you can just write explanation why that particular word is wrong. Okay, not necessary for all the words, maybe any of one. You can just write the, uh, I mean, answer why that particular word is wrong. Isn't it easy? Yeah, it's very easy. You need only three P's: persistence, preparation, and practice. Okay. Okay. So shall we stop? It's 7:06 now. Thank you so much. Harshit, again you got almost all correct answers. Good try, Achyut. Okay. Jagin, thank you so much. Okay. So let's check out. So I asked, like, can anyone put the word which is wrong? Can you give me explanation? Can anyone put it in chat box why this particular word is wrong? Quickly. So you all have mentioned correct words here, real English words. Okay. Tooking. Right, Praveen? Why tooking is a wrong word? Exactly. So took is a past form. Okay. Yeah. So took is a past form of take. We never use tooking. So that's why tooking is a wrong word here. Thank you so much, Praveen. Thank you so much. Okay. So let's check out the words here which are real. Now let's go one by one. So gives is not a real word because we don't use double S here. Now these is again the not because D is there. So it is wrong spell. Okay, it is THESE. Wait is the correct word here. Wants is the again correct word here. But yes, small tip I want to give here. If you are using wants before uncountable noun, okay, then don't use wants. So for example, when we say she wants water. Okay, now water is uncountable noun, so we never put wants there. We always say she wants water. Okay, so you have to be very clear, though the wants word is right here, okay, but it also depends on what noun you are putting after that wants. Okay, so be careful while putting wants. Huh? Taking again we discuss, yes, taken is a past form, past participle form, right. So cooking we already discussed. It's a wrong word. Watching again wrong. Watching is a right. Bookcase is right. Okay. Then yes. So bookcase answers is again the right word here. Yeah, we are not going to discuss each and every word here. So answer is a correct word. Walk, yes. 19, yes. And waiting. So these are the correct words here. All done, all good, well done, guys. Okay, so here is the list of right words. So this will look like once you click on the correct word, it will highlight. Okay, and then you have to, once you're done with your uh, solving your test, you just have to click the next button. So it will accept. Okay. Now, as I said, there is a lot of practice part which you will get it in your handouts. Okay, fine. So here we are. Yes. Now I would like to ask you, do you have any questions or any doubts? Okay. So yeah, most of you have mentioned the correct answers here. Yeah. Okay. There's only two. Yes. Fine. So as I said in the beginning, if you have any questions, any doubt, please park them aside. We will discuss it at the end of the session. So this is how the Duolingo course, okay. So you will get lot of practice activities, exercise in your Duolingo profile, handouts and everything. You will get the recordings of your each session. So in case if you miss out anything, you can go to your account and listen to the audio. Yes, now it's time for questions. Yes, please shoot. Okay. The link is taking us to Ubergrad home site where can we find and download the handouts. Okay, so you have to just log into your account. Okay, to Ubergrad. So there will be multiple windows will be given there. Yeah. Okay, I missed the link. Please share the link again. Which link you missed, Mr. Jagin? Okay, fine. So my team has mentioned the link here. So probably you can take a screenshot of it. Thank you. Okay. So any more questions? So my admin team will join if you have any technical related questions or yeah. So she is here and she'll take it further. What is the weightage for the picture description sessions? So don't worry about it. Okay, so we are covering all the types of questions one after another in our respective classes. So you will get all the ideas, tips part, how to solve, what is the weightage and everything during the session. Rest assured. Do we have any practice website we can see answers? Okay, so I think you will, okay, so no, but yes, through Ubergrad, you will get lot of practice part. Okay. Uh, yes, so thank you, Jagan. Thank you. Yes, so I request my admin uh, team to come and join.
Yeah, hi, ma'am. I'm there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Shloka, you want me to share my screen or it's fine?
No, ma'am. It's if you can remove it, I'll be sharing the screen now too.
Okay, okay, perfect.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks.
So, somebody said that you guys were not able to access the. Yeah, Shashank, you said that it's taking you to Ubergrad home site, right? So once you log into the account, only then it will be displaying that handout link will work. So I'll just share my screen and show you once. Just give me a second.